But that's definitely not me.
Definitely.
Is it me? Hold on, me mute.
No.
Okay. Usually me, so.
But that's definitely not me.
Probably me.
Is it me? Hold on, me mute.
No. It wasn't you. No.
No. Okay.
Very odd. Right,
Usually
anyway.
me, so.
But that's definitely not me.
Right, hello and welcome to Critical Questions, the antidote to lockdown boredom. Okay, today we have Peter and Mummer Atheist. And we've also got Randy, Mathpig and Nerdy in the chat. And if anyone else wants to jump in, just shout and I will send you the link. Okay. We are up to question 14. Already. That's how quick we go through them. And if I can do something silly like that. Right. If animals could talk, which species would be the rudest?
Honey badgers.
Yeah.
Why? You think they'd be rude? I think they'd just rip your face off.
that is pretty fucking rude, but okay.
I suppose you go.
Sorry. I didn't mean to swear. I don't know.
No. There's going to be lots of swearing.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule out my bull terrier either.
I think there might be a relevant question to that later. Oh, I was just wondering whether or not there'd be one that was ruder but not quite so vicious.
I don't know.
No.
I think swans are like swans and peacocks are fucking rude. Goats are rude. My neighbor had a goat. Don't ask. I lived in a farm town in Connecticut growing up. We had all of us on our street that lived in this dead end road, and we had a couple acres for each house. So my neighbor had a goat, and every time I came near it, it would fucking butt me so hard. Rude as fuck. So goats. I'll go with goats or
Llamas.
Llamas can be rude too. Yes.
So once they get the chance to speak,
They won't have to spit anymore, I guess.
yeah.
You don't think an egg-laying animal might be more rude, or might
That's why I said. Well, no, okay.
A friend of mine had chickens, and he had a rooster with those as well. He called it Rambo. The thing came up to my waist, a little over my waist.
You could almost ride it.
He actually used that rooster to guard his horse. No one would go near his horse when the rooster was out.
Okay.
Literally no one. It was bigger than a turkey. I have no clue what brand it is, but it was huge.
That seems messed up.
It was.
Randy mentioned cats, and I guess like that I do kind of agree because cats are the fucking worst. Wow.
Do you think there'd be an arrogance with their rudeness?
Yes. Absolutely.
They will sit on a table and look at you and say, "Do you like this? Too bad."
Yeah.
Just knock things off. Fuck you.
I think I'm gonna amend my statement and end it with cats because fuck cats. They're so rude.
Sal says a giraffe. Sticking their head into cars with their long necks. That's just impolite.
Don't let Autumn's brain sample hear you.
I mean,
you can't insult Carl.
Cats.
Right.
Wait, why am I not getting a notification that you are live?
I've been getting mine like an hour late.
Yeah, notifications today. I didn't know. I almost went live with this at 1:30 because I had nothing from Mama and it didn't show up at all in mine.
I got my own like a notification for my stream like literally 4 minutes after I finished. I've never gotten it. Oh, I've only done one stream before, but like okay, it's not live. It literally just finished, so I don't think it's up to par at the moment. So
it looks more professional than this, so you're way ahead.
Well, that's not me though. That's Jay and Jen. They did everything for me because I can't do shit with computers. So.
Ring, why are dolphins arseholes?
Dolphins like to rape dead things, by the way.
I thought they like to rape pretty much anything.
that is super asshole behavior.
I mean, I heard some stories about some of the Make-A-Wish type kids, the swimming with dolphins, and apparently the young male dolphins get very amorous around people.
Yeah. And penguins. I hate penguins, and they like to rape a lot too. So, I'm just saying. But I hate penguins.
Wait, I figured out why I didn't get a notification.
You're not subscribed, are you?
I'm not subscribed.
Get him the fuck out, Dave. Get him out.
I am now.
Uh-huh.
Are you subscribed to me?
No,
probably not.
I don't think.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
I'll give you the link later.
No,
Right.
I don't care.
Question 15. Okay. If all online interactions and browsing had to be logged and recorded alongside your real name and your identity, how would it alter yours or other people's use of the internet?
It has my real name.
Me too. So.
For everything attached to everything you do, as in so you're browsing at home alone, and that was publicly available.
No, because it was my Twitter is my real name. That's because it's old and.
But the point is, you don't put there the things that you don't post onto Twitter the things that you don't want people to know.
Like all the porn?
Yes!
Are we talking about all the porn?
No. Well, we're talking about lots of things, but it comes down to that. Ultimately, if everyone...
We'd be looking at really fucking boring porn if that were true.
But do you think it would actually stop people looking?
I don't know. Nobody's going to stop watching porn.
No, but if everyone sees what you're looking for.
That's what I'm saying. You will temper what you watch. You will look at the fucking most milquetoast stuff that you can find.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I mean,
you'll only type in vanilla porn in there.
Exactly. Which I mean, I'm sure would probably still work, I guess, but it would suck not being able to look up the porn that you want to look at. So.
You don't think that we would have this honest conversation in society where we can actually start to admit that we have kinks?
I don't have a problem admitting my kinks, so. But
I think a lot of Christians would instantly have problems with the internet if that would happen.
Just ban the internet.
Peter, have you ever seen the map of the United States that shows the different porn in different areas?
Yep.
Like, oh my god, it's crazy. So.
Most of the gay porn is watched in the Bible Belt.
I live in the Bible Belt.
I love that I love that the Islamic countries all say that there is absolutely no homosexuality in their countries, and then when Pornhub releases its stats on where watches gay porn, the Middle East countries always have loads of it. Robert thinks he would lose all of his friends if everything started logging.
Dave, you shouldn't make fun of the Islamic countries because I just saw a picture of the Kaaba in Mecca, and it's completely it's empty. There's no one there. So apparently Allah can't help with the coronavirus.
The people don't have enough faith is the problem.
That must be a blow.
Go on.
The Vatican, the Pope or whatever, isn't doing public services for Easter. So
again, so they don't have enough faith either.
Yeah, so he what was it, 1 or 2 days ago, he said he wouldn't go out in public anymore, and then started waving at the people who were there. So he did attract a crowd. When
You see?
he said he would.
At least the money-grabbing preachers in the States, they've got faith. They're telling all their people to still come to church.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just today, Locke released a video that he wasn't closing down his church.
Did he?
Yeah. Yeah, and he already said that on Facebook, and then his post got removed. So he had to vent a little. Because Facebook had removed his post that his church would remain open.
I saw that.
He is
whining about it.
Yeah.
Gross.
He's a horrible human being.
He's so fucking full of hate. He's so toxic, and but every time
I got him to admit that he's two-faced. I have that on video.
You did not, really?
Mm-hmm.
You've had him on.
Yes.
Oh, I haven't really spoken to him in a while on Twitter because he blocked me.
Yeah, I've had him on, and he said that he was a different person in an interview and on social media. On social media, the posts that he makes there aren't actually what he thinks. They're just clickbait. I've got him to admit that on video.
It's inherently dishonest. Although saying that, I think half.
And then he was going to come back, but his secretary kept screwing up the dates when he was supposed to be on our channel. And then he was going to come back, and we were emailing back and forth, and his daughter walked in on him and the secretary who kept messing up the dates. Both of them were naked on the couch in one of the rooms of the church.
Aha.
And that's when he put his wife on a bus and had her bust out of town.
That's nice. Hey, Ring.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, still can't get used to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start a fund for getting you a new fucking sheet, by the way.
A green one.
I'll probably swap it out soon.
I have a He-Man sheet. Shit you not. I have a He-Man sheet.
Because it's it's spring, so the snowflakes aren't technically aren't really topical anymore.
You don't have a mother? Because I got a co-host, Artemis Brain Sample. His mother made him a nice quilt.
What was on it?
It's actually a nice quilt too.
Yeah.
It's a really nice quilt.
Right, before we move on to the next question, you have to answer this one. If all online interactions and browsing had to be logged and recorded with your real name attached to your identity, how would it change your behavior online?
Well, my behavior probably would be watching a lot less porn, but the thing is, if it were for everybody, that would be a terrible, terrible thing because there would be a lot less activism.
So less porn, not different porn?
Yeah.
Amanda thinks that everyone would go down the route of just searching for vanilla porn. It would just be straight vanilla porn.
You go on Pornhub and like the #1 videos in the country are all fucking incest porn. What is that about?
So you don't know me, Mama Atheist. I would go look for the most disgusting porn there is. Just to have people click on the links that I looked for and go watch it. That would be me.
I can't deny that.
Actually, yeah.
Poisoning your search with the worst of everything.
Yes, that would be me. I would make that a hobby.
I was going to say, I would write a script that would just sit there browsing fucking the dodgiest sites online. Every 2 minutes, find a new site and go there, so that you would never know what I was actually looking at.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Evil genius save.
Then we need a filter that actually looks at what you are looking for, Dave, because now you found a loophole. Loopholes aren't allowed.
Loopholes are good. Have you seen the people in London that are now wearing specific camouflage makeup to fuck with face recognition? Now that we've got face recognition in London.
There's glasses that you can get that does that. So you don't have to actually put shit on your face, but okay. I mean,
I've been very pleased with the. Pleased is the wrong word there. That sounds like I'm very supportive, although I'm not unsupportive of the ingenuity from the Hong Kong protesters last year when the Chinese were using face recognition, and they're all just stood there with laser pointers.
Yeah. That was. I actually liked that.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Destroy all the cameras with laser pointers.
Mm.
Yeah.
It has to be a certain camera though. Not all of it. It doesn't work on all of them, but yeah.
No. Well, to be honest, if you can get enough laser light in there, it will. If you can get enough focused in there, it will pretty much melt the bloody lens at the end of the day. Right. Question 16. Oh, I have just killed something. Question 16. If you could replace all the grass in the world with something else, what would it be and why?
Ooh. So are we talking about all the grasses in the world?
Yes. Which could lead to some interesting...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That would kill off the Americans.
You're gonna ask me to go in this scenario. The climate scientist who's trying to save all the grass and trees and shit.
I actually would not.
Well, so if you consider that corn is a grass.
Yeah, it'd destroy our agriculture if we want to be selfish about it. But it would also
every ecosystem. Not every ecosystem. Very close. They would domino affect it all. So. Yeah,
it would collapse pretty much every ecosystem that isn't a forest biome.
Yeah, we would run out. We would run out of burgers fast too because no more cows.
Lucy says concrete.
Oh, it's awful.
It'd be So
if you said like leaves on trees, not grass, I would go for tree leaves.
Well, how about if we went for lawns?
Okay, lawns. So lawns, I'd replace lawns with like essentially native flora gardens or like wildlife gardens.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'd replace them with weeds just to piss off the people who have a nice garden.
Well, you know what there is no botanical definition for a weed. A weed is literally just any plant you don't like.
Yeah, that's what I would go for.
There you go. Do the Arden cannabis.
Yeah, so
that's what I was gonna say, Dave. Thanks. Fuck you.
Blame Randy.
When I still lived in town, I had a neighbor, and we didn't get along.
Oh.
So I bought an awful lot of bird seed. And, when it was raining, I threw a few handfuls of bird seed in his front yard, and then a week or two later, there would be all kinds of weed growing there, and he'd go completely nuts. So, yeah, that was my entertainment. Messing up his front yard.
I remember walking somewhere with my mum, and she was commenting on this plant at the edge, the side of the path that she didn't recognise, and I was just sat there watching it, trying not to smirk as she tries to identify it. She's never smelt anything like this before, and it's a lovely thing, and I wonder if she could grow it. I'm like, that's weed, right?
Yeah, so I have a friend who turned 84 this year, and he's a singer, and he performs in the UK and in Ireland on occasion. And when he does, I take care of the dogs. and so I went there, and there was a note. What I had to do, and on the bottom of the note it said, "Don't mind the 3 wheat plants that he's got in the garden." He's 84. 3 huge wheat plants in the garden.
Hello.
Good morning, guys.
Yeah. Hello.
What would you replace lawns with?
What would I replace lawns with?
Yeah. All lawns. All grass lawns. Are there any other types of lawns? All lawns.
Very sod. Rubber mats.
Actually, I think if you were going to do that, they'd have to be sprung.
Yeah, I was actually thinking trampolines.
Trampolines, yeah.
Yeah, bouncing stuff. That'd be good.
It would be good. Right. Let's go for question 17. Which is... Ooh.
Can I just add one?
Of course you can. We'll give you question 18.
No, for the lawn.
Oh, yeah, go on.
A bamboo forest. That would make football entertaining, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you
but then you have to worry about bamboo potentially becoming an invasive species.
That's going to be with anything, though. I mean, even your gardens. You're talking about changing any kind of flora and fauna in any ecosystem whatsoever. It will have a domino effect within that ecosystem.
Which is why in the case of lawns, I specifically said native plants.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
See, and I was thinking if we put bamboo forests there, then we have to make the tickets price for the football games higher because we have to fly in pandas from China, and so we would have a good funding for getting more pandas.
But surely,
actually, we cannot. Actually, we cannot buy pandas. All pandas belong to China. They just loan them out.
They rent them. Yes.
The problem with the bamboo forest, in any regards, is you're talking about a different amount of soil erosion in the area, and the whole invasive species thing. But when you have you have something like a lawn, and then you put something up that's more foresty, with bamboo, it shoots up really quick. The water that runs over said area is not going to do the same amount. It's not going to end up with the same amount of erosion as it had before, and you would be talking about changing the landscape. Period. So.
Right.
It's not just that. Soccer would turn into a pool table with pegs in it.
We give everyone a chainsaw. Right. How do cats actually react to catnip? I've never seen a cat on catnip.
Oh, they like it.
Because everyone reckons we replace all the grass with catnip. What the hell what would cats be like?
The cat.
We'd have a lawn of cats. We wouldn't have catnip. We'd have a lawn of cats.
No.
Would they all be high though? Constantly.
Yeah, and they're kind of assholes when they use it too.
Yeah.
It's not like they get all fucking hyper and shit. So no.
Yeah, I used to have to hide the catnip from my cat.
Right, question 17. Terrorists have got a credible bomb in New York City. They demand $25 billion. What should you, as the president, do?
Just give it to them.
Yeah.
Is there a time frame, and do we know where the bomb is?
You can't disarm it. There's no. They will set it off.
But do you know where it is?
Yes.
Then just evacuate the area. I'm not going to give.
Not viable. It's not viable.
No.
The moral question is very much: do you?
Okay, it's kind of like the trolley question, though.
Yes.
Because you're giving them money.
It's just money. You can track it. It's just money.
Yeah, but
Like, worry about it later.
if they can keep that money and then they can put more money into their effort, you're talking about killing so many more people down the line. And even
Potentially.
You worry about the immediate safety first, and worry about the problem later. That's just how we deal with it.
No, I don't. I think
so. I'd evacuate the.
He said that wasn't viable.
Okay.
I think you could evacuate some, maybe 50%. Let's pick a.
Yeah. Oh, that's different. Then. See, that's different.
I mean, there's a lot of people in New York City.
Yeah. Hey, are there options? Are there options, or is it just like here's the bomb, give us the money, and that's it?
Pretty much.
There's options. Then
An hour, 2 hours to get the money.
I'm from New York. I have family there. Just give them the fucking money.
I'm sorry, Sal. I'm sorry, but
you'd sacrifice them all.
I love New York, but you're talking about down the line of them possibly being able to get rid of all of New York. You're talking about one building right now, and as Dave said,
wait a minute. One building. Is it going to be Trump Tower? Because then we can just.
It's a nuclear bomb. You're probably talking about.
Wait.
At 10 square miles.
Right next to fucking Tiffany's.
Yes.
Like, literally, they're attached. So.
Tell Tiffany's to clear out and just.
I mean, where with Trump Tower? 10 square miles around Trump Tower.
Okay, so we're talking a nuke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's everything. That's my sister, my nieces, my aunts, yeah, that's everything. I have family. Yeah.
So before we do anything, if it's Trump Tower, we send Trump a message that there's a pot of gold hidden in his tower.
Make sure he's there.
Okay.
Then we evacuate. Then we evacuate everyone around there, and then just have it go off.
So I give them the money in cash, and then have a transmitter attached to the whatever the attached, hit it in the put a tracker in the bundles of cash. As soon as they leave, send in SEAL Team 6 to take out the terrorists and retrieve the cash.
They're not going to ask for physical cash. They're going to ask for a wire transfer. They're going to have access to that money right away. Because they never ask for physical cash. Why is this
Who's going to pick up the physical cash?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm going to
there's no need for a transmitter.
Okay, wait there. We can alter it slightly. Okay, you can make two assumptions here. Okay, the two assumptions are this.
You haven't thought this through, Dave. You need
No. It's right. Okay,
there are all the loopholes.
There are always going to be, and if I thought of all the loopholes, there would be more.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. The two loopholes are this: one, you can't trace them after the fact, and two, you get the bomb afterwards.
Okay.
So they can't reuse this.
Okay. Yeah, but they could use it to purchase.
Potentially, yes. I thought it's a lot of money.
$25 billion. That's a shit ton of money. That's a lot of fucking nukes.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm not taking that chance. I love New York. I really do. I grew up right next to it.
At the end of the day, okay, they could go buy another maybe 2 nukes. We still got more guns, and they still got to take time to do that. And we could track the network where they buy it from. That's how we know that people are buying nukes. There's more options.
Operation Fast and Furious cough.
There you go. We fly them in from a helicopter and parachute the cars and tanks into the Trump Tower and blow the shit up.
No, I'm referring to an operation done under Obama where we tried to sell guns to the Mexican cartel so we could track them, and it turned into a shit show.
Hey, they didn't do it right.
Well, do we ever fucking do this shit right? I'm sorry. No, we don't.
No. I mean, this is
a hypothetical where I can imagine anything I want, right? So in my
pretty much
we're gonna get them.
But in my world, we don't, because we never work together.
Okay, we win.
Okay.
Who's our president right now? Are we ever going to win with this shit?
Hopefully enough money has been lost where people wake up and they're like, okay, yeah, I can't lose anymore with this fool. Because that's what it's going to take.
I think it's gonna be a lot more dead people first, unfortunately.
No, I don't care about dead people.
People are fucking diehard for
They
this.
don't
Dude.
care about dead people. They care about their money. Lose enough money, and they'll stop this whole shit.
Right, we got here.
That's all that matters.
Robert says.
Lost a lot already.
Robert says that he's got family in New York too, and he thinks that there is no way they should pay.
Okay. How big is the nuke? How big are we talking?
10 miles.
10 square miles.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
are we talking? No, are we talking like a World
You
War II
understand that
nuke?
Manhattan's
Or are we
only
talking like a suitcase nuke?
We're talking more modern than World War II, but we're not talking
If you're
suitcase.
saying 10 miles, Manhattan is only about 3 miles wide, if that.
I don't know if is there really a nuke that can...
No, it would do more damage further than that. But the point is, 10 miles is your fireball.
Correct.
Plus, you're talking about nuking New York too. It's not just what gets bombed; it's after effects as well.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
And the point being,
I don't know.
at the end of the day, what the real choice here is millions and millions of dead people, or billions of dollars.
Which one?
Giving the billions of dollars is what makes the millions and millions of dead people.
Oh, therein lies there. This is why. This is why. It's a choice.
Dave, fuck you.
Right, we'll go with the next question. Oh, wait, that's the same question. I screwed that up.
Wait, what number are we up to?
Well,
18.
17.
Now, if the terrorists were armed with fresh fruit, I'd know what to do.
There you go.
You'd pay them. Clearly.
No, I've released the tiger.
That's terrible. Right. The zombie apocalypse has begun. You have an SUV and a baseball bat. Where are you going first?
Wait, what's begun? What was it, the apocalypse?
The zombie apocalypse.
Zombie
Oh,
apocalypse.
the zombie apocalypse. Ooh. I got a car and a bat.
Hospital or pharmacy?
I'm gonna sit tight. No one knows where I'm at anyway. So
How long till you run out of food?
before they show up here,
Okay. Do I have to worry about anybody or just myself?
Well, that depends if you go and collect people.
Well, yeah,
What
that's
if
what
I
I'm saying.
have a
like-
little person that's with me?
Yeah, my let's see, my first actually my first stop would be a Cabela's or Sportsman's Warehouse. Get a compound bow, as many arrows I can carry, and other survival gear, and go up into the woods.
Well, that I think fits with Nerdy, who would go for a boat.
Hospital or pharmacy, and get all the antibiotics, all the bandages I could get, all the painkillers I could get, all the alcohol I could get, anything for,
She wants to be high.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
ethanol, alcohol.
I'm amending my answer. First stop is Cabela's or Sportsman's Warehouse, whatever sporting goods store, to get the hunting camping stuff. Second stop is to go pick up Mama Atheist, and then we'll go hide out in the woods together and ride it out, because
Yeah, it'll be fun with us.
yeah.
So.
I like Robert. Robert says to a Mormon colony, because even the brain dead zombies will avoid places like that.
That's fun.
You see, I think I'd head for a hydro plant.
for what?
Why?
Power.
Nerdy has a good idea to go out. I mean, to be honest with you, a zombie apocalypse is not going to be an apocalypse. You're talking about brain dead, slow ass, loud things.
Yeah.
Are we assuming slow zombies?
Even fast zombies. we could fucking stamp that shit out in no time. So, but if it were a real apocalypse, I'm going to the hospital. Ring is going to the sporting goods place, and then we're off to the woods. Angel will have all the weed. It'll be fine.
I mean, why do people fear zombies? Just take 2 steps back, and it'll take them hours to get back to you.
Because you've got to sleep sometime. It's a slow, constant threat.
And the reason I go with bow and arrow, over a gun in regards for zombies, is because one, I'm better with a bow and arrow than with a gun. 2, it's quiet.
Mm?
Yeah.
Because
and you don't need gunpowder.
Yeah.
You can recover, but you can recover.
I'm just curious, what would a gun or a bow and arrow do to a zombie? Nothing. They're already dead.
Yeah, but the whole hit him in the brain thing. Have you not seen The Walking Dead?
No.
It actually tapes like an hour away. My son and I went. It tapes in Sonoy, Georgia. We actually went and did a tour, and we went to the guy who plays Daryl with the bow and arrow, his restaurant and stuff. It's pretty cool. But no, we'd be fine.
Yeah.
The only zombie movie I've seen is the zombie movie that Aaron Ra played in.
No.
And no one has seen that.
No. Now this is assuming we're talking about.
I'm intrigued.
You got B movies. Aaron Ra's zombie film was a Z movie, I think.
Terrible.
But, that is assuming we're talking about plague zombies. If we're talking about magic zombies, then it'd be, go load up on bow and arrow, then find the necromancer, then kill the necromancer. The plague is over.
I'm intrigued that no one goes to rescue their loved ones. I'm intrigued that not one of you has gone to rescue anyone.
Time out. I haven't had my chance. What do I have to worry about anybody? Because my first choice would have been to go get my family. I'm like,
very
good. Otherwise, if it's just me, then I go into the fray. I'm gonna go out swinging.
You're just gonna go fight them.
Yeah. No, it's either I try to run and hide and fight every chance I get, or I just go in and claim my land, man. Either die getting in, or I claim it and I win.
Well, and the thing is that my wife, the person I care most about in the world, is in the UK. There's no way I'm getting to the UK.
Well, you need a boat then. Let's get to the harbour. I mean, Nerdy wants a cruise liner.
Am I saving Angel, or am I leaving him here?
That depends if you want to leave. That depends if you want a cliffhanger.
I mean, you do have an SUV, so there is room for Angel.
I know, but
a lot, but you can't less pain pills.
Well, and I mean,
swim, or are they afraid of water?
I have no idea. I don't have any law for that.
Most show the Game of Thrones, the White Walkers won't go in water. Walking Dead, they won't go. They can get stuck in water, but they won't walk into water. So
because the zombies and the Pirates of the Caribbean, they walked underwater.
Yeah, but they were
they were pirates.
They were still zombies.
They were zombie pirates.
They were still zombies.
Wait, Robert says he'd get a flamethrower. But would that not just?
Oh no!
Would that not just be flaming zombies?
Yeah. The worst weapon you could use is a flamethrower.
When you have something like a flamethrower that you need gas or propane or whatever you use for it, in any amount of time, we're not going to be producing those things. That would degrade. That's part of the reason that a lot of The Walking Dead is stupid, because they're still all driving around in cars fucking 10 years later.
Yeah.
But they're not producing more gas. The gas degrades before 3 years.
I was going to say, I was disturbed. Our petrol now, unlike when I was a kid, our petrol now won't last 6 months. It degrades in less than 6 months.
Yeah.
There you go. So that would be a flamethrower, as cool as it would be useless in 6 months to 3 years, depending on what kind of fuel you're using.
And also, before then, even a functional flamethrower would be worse than useless because you'd just have flaming zombies. You'd have 2 problems instead of 1. Flamethrower won't stop a zombie. It'll just catch everything on fire.
Yeah. There you go.
Right. Question 19. Which I'm going to have to rephrase. Right. Would you be willing to become physically repulsive to everybody if it meant you could live 100 more years in your current health?
Wait. I think I already am.
I knew someone would say
I'm
that.
going to say the same thing.
Oh, and you said in our current health, so
Yes.
fuck no.
Fuck no.
Fuck that.
All right, your 18-year-old health.
Yeah, 100 years of epilepsy. Fuck no.
I don't want 100 years of anything. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, Angel turns 18 in 2 years. That's all I care about is getting him to be an adult, and I'm good. My job is over.
Well, then he can look after you till you're 100.
Yeah, no, I don't. That's a long ass time.
Yeah.
But like Peter said, probably already happened. So
Just so I'm cursed to live through this for another 100 anyway.
yeah. So no, fuck no. What about you, Dave? Are you answering any of these questions?
I do answer some of them.
Well, answer this one. Hey, Jen, why the fuck are you asleep?
Yes, I would. I would do it.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm staying late till our show.
That is, you are gonna fucking fall asleep on. Oh my god.
I'm not. I will go to sleep after the show.
We're going to have to pay her brother with a stick off camera to poke her.
Right.
It just occurs to me, you lot can't see me.
Nanda's got my Amanda can call me, so if I fall asleep, she can wake me up. I thought you'd fix this so the app could turn itself off in you could turn the app off in whilst it was up.
Yes.
And we all know how well that goes.
It doesn't.
Have I broken that? I might have
Yeah, you broken that. I'm gonna have to turn it off and come back in because this is horrible. Although, hang on, it could be what have I done? The StreamYard. There it is. Might be because I'm in the wrong window. No, it's not there.
I have to see what.
Am I running the right version? Hang on a sec. 0.9?
Yeah, that's the latest.
I do want to make.
You broke it.
Say again?
Yeah. So the stream is called Critical Questions.
Yeah.
When are you starting to ask critical questions?
Never.
Never.
Right. Oh, she's back.
What's next?
That's better.
Right. Just we have to ask Jen this question.
Alright, well.
Right. Would you be willing to become physically repulsive to everybody in exchange?
I thought I was that already.
That's what me and Peter said. So.
In exchange for 100 years in your current health.
I don't. Not current health.
All right,
No.
18-year-old.
No. I'm not. Well, no. My current health. If you mean right at this moment, no, because I've got a fucking cold that could be coronavirus. So no.
I always have to tell you this. It's not fucking corona.
Corona. Whatever.
Corona.
Don't hassle me.
All right, at any age would you have done?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Right. We shall.
Yeah, it's a difficult question, isn't it? So.
That's the point.
Who wants 100 more years of any of this shit? I mean, come on.
I mean, you've seen me in streams talk about this. If they ever got the singularity going, where as in you can put your consciousness into a robot, I'd be happy to do that when
Oh yeah.
another 20 years time.
Yeah. Like
I'll have a robot body, provided I can design the robot body to look the way I want it to do, so I don't end up with dysphoria over having a fucking robot's body. I'm
But
fine with that.
wouldn't it always be a somewhat separate consciousness because you couldn't You know what? Sorry, never mind.
yeah.
I was going to say, I was going to get into the fact because I thought that if we could attach to a robot body, we'd solve the dysphoria problem because we can interface. I just remember that was a very long stream.
It was a very, very long stream. Yeah. The point you got to was that if we could do that and we could feed any feedback to the person within it, then yes, you might be able to solve the dysphoria problem, because you might be able to convince them that even though they're in a robot's body, they're in an entirely different body that they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
So, theory. It's all theory.
That kind of reminds me of that new show that's coming out on Amazon Prime in a couple months. Upload.
I haven't heard about that yet.
So like this guy dies and ends up going to and like before he dies he gets his consciousness uploaded like to the internet. So his afterlife is the internet.
Yeah. I don't know.
It looks interesting.
That sounds weird.
But
They
yeah,
just go do all the porn.
Most of the internet is not good stuff, so I don't know if you'd want to have the internet as your consciousness. So,
well, it's depicted as like something like a mobile game.
Yeah.
Well, that would figure, wouldn't it?
that would be.
Well,
really
it'd
cool.
either be that or lots of porn.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Just directly go.
I'm already struggling with the side chat because I'm looking at you guys are talking about porn. I'm looking at the side chat where Dave just typed, "I came and I didn't want to wake you." I'm getting all kinds of weird visions now. Sorry.
Well, we'll do the next question right there. Question 20. What outrageous conspiracy theory do you think might actually seem like a logical argument or a legitimate? I suppose is the real question there.
Okay.
Oh, flat Earth.
I was gonna say that.
Dear.
I'll be honest. For a while, when the book that Eric von Däniken wrote came out, for a while I thought he had a pretty good case for gods being from another planet. It's probably why I still like Stargate SG-1, because that's pretty much based on what Eric von Däniken thought. But
Yeah, the whole Chariots of the Gods thing.
yeah, he did have a pretty compelling case when the book came out.
I got to agree. That's definitely up there for me too. I'm not sure if that's it, but that's definitely one of the top choices. Ancient Aliens, and for him and Zachariah Sitchin, I got really into Zachariah. I ended up buying the Earth Chronicles. He wrote a whole bunch of books called the Earth Chronicles, and I ended up reading them. So yeah, I definitely go with that too.
Now any kind for me, I'm mostly automatically discount any kind of government conspiracy unless it involves the CIA. The CIA conspiracy theories I find more credible because the CIA does some shady shit.
Yeah.
And they don't share their information with anyone.
One government though.
The original concept for Nibiru.
Okay.
Not the stupid ass internet thing now that Nibiru swings in and comes close to the sun and it's going to come and hit us one day. But the original one that there could have been a large planet out there that perturbs asteroids are in the Kuiper Belt and flings them into the inner solar system every now and then. And now that we've got an idea that there could be a Planet X out there, it is possible that that could sort of be true.
If it's out of the plane.
You know what got me about Zachariah's books with Nibiru and all that, it wasn't so much all the crazy stories. It was one thing in particular that stood out to me. He spoke about how the moon is part of the Earth because another planet crashed with the Earth and created the moon.
I've heard that before, and
Well, that's vaguely true.
Hold on. What got me wasn't so much the story. It's not so much the coincidence of the story. It was the fact that he wrote this book like in the 70s, mid or late 70s, and it took a few years for science to kind of like start talking about what actually is what could have occurred. I found that extremely interesting, and that's why I kind of go towards that route of saying, hey, if there's any truth to what they're reading and interpreting, let's look a little more into it, because the coincidences are kind of weird.
But that's where you get to the point where you get the imagination.
Right.
Just because someone imagined something and it happened to be close to the truth doesn't mean that they predicted something or that they...
Not at all. Not at all. We're just talking about why we found it interesting.
Yes.
That's what interested me. Yeah, that's what pulled me towards that.
For every one of those ones that is close, there are hundreds that are miles and miles away.
Tell me about it.
Well,
No,
I got a good one.
Uh-huh.
Marilyn Monroe,
Okay.
killed by the Kennedys. Specifically, Bobby actually was there when she died.
Uh-huh.
They were bugging her place actually, and there's a recording of, because they bring a EMT or a doctor. She had her doctor come in to give her shots or whatever. But I mean, she died without any capsules in her stomach at all, and she died hours before they claimed she did. Bobby had been there. People knew he had been there with the doctor earlier that day. So, just saying.
Was she pregnant? I heard she was pregnant.
No, he was leaving her, or no, Jack was leaving her. John F. Kennedy was leaving her. And she had said she was going to go and say shit about both of them because she slept with both Bobby and John. And John came there that day to talk her down, and the doctor gave her more meds that she had already had. And so she started to die, and Bobby said, should we get somebody in here to save her? And or no, the doctor said that, and Bobby said, no, let's just see what happens. So they stood there, and I've heard the recording. They stood there and listened to her die.
Also, another one I find somewhat credible is mostly because of my wife. Is the Queen killed Princess Diana, or had Princess Diana killed?
Yeah,
that's absurd. That one, I've got to say.
Yeah.
That an accident that she survived, that they could have predicted that she wouldn't have been wearing a seatbelt, that she would have hit that point in the tunnel. That there are too many. If they were going to kill someone, there wouldn't have been that many things that needed to add up. Variables is the right word.
I agree with that.
And the route was off as well. It wasn't a logical route. So
Robert thinks his favorite conspiracy that might be real is that Trump is the president.
Yeah, my answer for conspiracy theories that might be real is pretty much anything involving the CIA.
So we could add in Roswell.
Yeah.
But is that? I thought that was an Air Force base.
No, Roswell's bullshit.
In Roswell, supposedly a flying saucer crashed, and then the government made it public.
Okay,
that might have it.
Okay, I'll amend my answer. The CIA doing shady political shit.
Yeah, there you go.
I worked for NASA. I'm telling you, Roswell is bullshit. Okay.
I know, but
that's what they want you to say, Amanda.
You've been paid. You literally have a paycheck from NASA. You lose all credibility.
Yeah, I guess I get that now. I can't argue with flat Earth people either, because you're like, yeah, but you work for them, you're a shill for them. Like, no, fuck that. I didn't work for the shuttle program, by the way. I worked for the education program, but I do know.
See, so that was the perfect cover for you to sneak in and change something on the shuttle.
Yeah.
Never mind. Fuck you all.
Education.
Sure.
Fine. Whatever.
So the only kind of government cover-up conspiracies that I will give credence to is if they involve the CIA, because for the rest of them, the government as a whole is too incompetent to cover anything up. I'm saying this as someone who is in military intelligence.
I mean, that's the thing with most conspiracy theories. It's not that the conspiracies don't happen. They just don't stay secret.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a contradiction in terms, military intelligence?
Yes.
Yeah,
I can't remember where I heard that.
Yeah, for
No
3
joke.
years of my life, I was living in oxymoron. And the thing about MI is you're either already a nerd when you go into it, or it turns you into a nerd.
It's got to.
What was it for
Yeah.
you then, Ray?
I was already a nerd. I played D&D in AIT, so
Right.
Kind of weird as much.
Mama
Question-
atheist. Mama atheist.
Yeah.
Have a hold on. Have a look at the screen. Talk about conspiracies, right? The moon landing.
No, don't, and that's bullshit too. I mean, I you know,
It was all me. All
It was
me.
all
I
you.
made it.
The moon landing, they can't get over the fact. I don't understand how anyone can get past the fact.
That's why I
No.
made this video, just to fuck with the people who keep telling me that the moon landings never happened.
well, I mean, let's look at the Apollo program and all the fucking shit that went wrong. Starting with Apollo 1, which exploded on the platform. Apollo 8, there was a lot of issues before it went up. Apollo 13, who didn't even make it to the moon. I mean, there was just way too
Oh,
much.
not just didn't
I
make
don't know,
it,
it's
nearly
not that.
didn't make it back.
It's not that, though. I think the thing that rules it out as in any way as a conspiracy is Russia.
Oh yeah, the Cold
Yeah.
War. The Cold War gets rid of it. I mean, if that,
yeah, and
I
Russia
mean,
was like, yeah, you went to the moon.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
there ain't no
whole
way
thing
your
is to prove that
major
we have
opposing
better
power
rockets.
is going to own up to the fact that you did it.
Yeah.
If you didn't do it, it's just not going to happen.
It's insane. Which brings me on. Right, question 21.
21.
21.
Yeah.
You've been tossed into an insane asylum. What do you
Oh,
tell?
I'm gonna get out.
What do you tell the people there to convince them you don't belong inside?
I just told you I'll never get out.
I'm telling people that to keep me outside.
Just it's like catch-22. If you say you're crazy, then you're not crazy because you can, you know,
I
tell
got
the
it.
difference. So you
I
tell them you're crazy and they should let you out, maybe? I don't know.
I got it. I'm going to sit next to a television or a computer. I'm going to sit next to a computer. I'm going to pull up something, any video of Trump, and I'll sit next to that and look at that. You're keeping me in here and the United States. I think I'm out.
Oh, so this is where. Oh, so I'd ask them. So this is where we keep the sane people, because obviously the rest of the world has gone nuts.
That works.
Mostly, yeah.
I like that question. It's an easy one.
Or
You're fucked.
or I'd start speaking in tongues and claim religious persecution.
Oh, I like that one.
We need Chris for that.
Well, I was also a Pentecostal, so
Right.
That wouldn't work for me in Holland because since I've been on YouTube, I've been asking people in my own country if they ever heard of that. No one's ever heard of it.
I've only seen it in films.
One of my favorite videos is the guy who went viral recently, who was praying in tongues and looking at his phone.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Or
Oh man!
what I love. The one I love is the one that Nervardia edited.
Yes.
I liked it when Nervardia and Chris did it together because Chris helped her out. He actually knows. He used to actually speak in tongues, so
Yeah.
fucking weird.
Right. Question 22. If your pet could talk, what's one thing that they would say that would completely ruin your image?
Well, seeing as how all I have are fish, it'd just come out as.
Yes, but they can communicate. Whatever they can see. Yeah, right.
Mock me for being naked.
Say that again?
If they mock me for being naked.
You think they'd mock you for being naked?
Well, no, I don't think they would. As you ask, what would they say to make me look at them different? I'd be like, oh, why are you mocking me?
No. They would say it to someone else. They would ruin your image with other. What would your pet say that would ruin your image with other people?
Can it be a former pet?
Yes.
Because I actually have a stupid story. That is true, and I can prove that.
You got a talk. Wait. Have you got a talking pet? Or had a talking pet?
No. I had a Jack Russell.
Well, they almost talk.
And they're pretty agile. So I was walking towards my couch, and the Jack Russell ran in front of my feet, and I didn't want to step on the Jack Russell. So while taking the next step, I pulled back my leg, fell over, with my chest on the wooden armrest of the couch, passed out, woke up with terrible pain, and weeks later I found out that I actually had broken a rib that was now mending. So I got a huge bump on my chest. So my Jack Russell would just look up and say, see that bulge on his chest? I did that.
We used to have, as a kids, we had Chihuahuas, Jack Russells, and Alsatians. And one of the Chihuahuas, what it used to do is it used to position itself over your foot. Right, so that you could wiggle your toe and you tickle his belly. So it used to just so you sat there and it'd come along and it'd just stand over your foot. Anyway, my sister stood there, swinging her legs backwards and forwards, and he managed to position to kind of try and stand under her foot at the same time. And this dog flew about 10 foot across the room, followed by my sister trying to catch it. It's really bad. Right, none of this answers the question as to what your pet would reveal about you.
My Leia would probably tell everybody that when I'm alone, I sing horribly and I dance. So that would ruin everything for me.
My previous dog would probably tell everybody all the weird and wonderful places around the house me and my ex had sex.
Yeah, that would be my cat. Some dickhead move like that.
Turn off
the point is,
Mom.
you just know that they do it when someone came round. So every time someone leaned on something, they fucked on that. And there.
Mine would be, they had sex on that sofa.
He was there.
Right. To get the flashlight.
The black light.
Black light.
Not flashlight.
You're making a sandwich.
This is why you don't let Jen come on.
I made it worse.
Every fucking time.
You're making a sandwich in the kitchen. You know they had sex on the countertop, don't you?
Well, everybody has sex on the island in the kitchen. It's you have to. So, I'm saying.
Actually, it's the one spot I didn't.
Why? No, wait. Never mind. Never mind.
Well, I've got to back out because I've got the atheist D&D in like 15 minutes. So.
I've got one last question. Then I'm going to end the stream, and it's an easy. It's an easy question.
Let Ring answer first, then.
Okay, in case he has to go. Just let me.
Yeah.
Right. Would you prefer to have, which is question 23, a horse's tail or a narwhal's horn?
Narwhal horn. So I could stab people with my face.
Every time you walk through a door, you'd have to duck down.
Narwhals can't.
No.
Well,
You just bend your head. I mean,
Actually, now that I think about
They're
it,
huge.
now that I think about it, knowing what a narwhal's horn actually is, I think I'd probably say horse's tail, because a narwhal's horn is actually their tooth
Yes.
that grows through their forehead.
Yep.
That would be excruciating when it came in.
Also,
Yes.
the human is right up that way through the
It goes from your mouth.
You wouldn't feel a thing if you sawed it off, and you'd look like Hellboy.
Yeah.
You said sharpen it.
I'd still go for the narwhal horn.
No, I'd go for the tail.
I don't know. I had really long hair up until like a couple months ago, and I would actually sit on my fucking hair sometimes, and that hurt.
It would be a
So,
lot harder to sit with a tail.
plus, stabby. I agree with Ring on that.
Yeah, but also the excruciating pain of it coming in.
But it would probably happen when you were too young to remember.
I'm old enough now; it would have already happened.
Yeah.
I would have the horn, tooth, whatever.
Also, I think it's also like, at least the current consensus is it's probably some kind of a sensory organ. So stabbing it, using it to stab people would actually kind of hurt.
Or it could feel really fucking good.
And we all know Judd's gonna say it, so I might as well beat her to it. You just like stab someone, you're like, oh, that's.
I think you can just file it down to about 7 inches long.
Yeah, but if it's a sensory organ, I mean, that would be incredibly painful.
Yeah,
That was a really specific number, Dave.
Would you also polish it?
Well, the point is, I don't know whether or not I'd get it sharp.
Would you keep it sharp?
Well, no, it depends what I was going to use it for. If I was cutting it down to 7 inches long, I probably wouldn't want it sharp.
He would rub it and polish it every day.
What did we learn today? We learned that Dave has a 7-inch dick.
Would it be a spiral?
Sorry, Dave.
And the other downside of having a narwhal horn is everybody would say that you're always horny.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you used it for sex, they'd probably call you a dickhead.
I don't think it'd matter. I think you get called a dickhead regardless.
You see the tail.
Although if you kept it sharp, they might not want to call you a dickhead.
You see, would you want to keep it sharp and have something made that goes over it to make it blunt?
What,
Or would you keep it blunt and have an attachment that's a knife attachment?
A very, very thick condom for your horn.
Well, and another thing is you could use it to stop terrorism in London.
Yes.
This is true.
While I look like one, Dave, you wouldn't want rednecks to have that, because they'll probably hang a flag off of it.
You will walk around with a flag.
Yeah.
The fucking Confederate flag, they would absolutely put that shit on their head. I live in the South, I see plenty of it, trust me. Terrible.
Oh yeah, when I was stationed at Fort Campbell, I saw a Jeep driving around the base with an American flag flying off one side of the Jeep, and then the Confederate flag flying off, flying the other side.
That's good.
There's a video online. I watched a channel that only has car crashes, and the guy's driving on the highway, and there's a ton of pickup trucks passing him, all flying Confederate flags from the bed of the pickup truck. And then the first one isn't watching the road and they're stopping. He hits the brakes and they all knock into each other. And probably one of the best videos I've seen lately.
But yeah, I gotta get going.
Yes, thank you very much for coming, Ring.
Bye.
Bye.
Good seeing you. Have fun.
Yeah. You can catch it on the Daily Atheist Morning Show channel.
I'll do a link to it in a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get everyone else.
Yeah, once Chris actually sets it up. But see ya.
See ya.
Bye bye. Would you like to shill yourself, Jen?
You should have the video of ABBA ready when he joins. Dave.
No, I don't get that one.
Ring.
Ring, ring. Why don't you give me a call?
See someone.
I actually do not know that ABBA song, which, considering how many ABBA songs I do know, that's
A
disturbing.
little before my time, you old folks.
All of ABBA is before my time. I grew up with parents that listened to it.
I'm kidding. Jesus.
Although there's meant to be a new album coming out.
Between our ages, Dave.
Actually,
And you were there when ABBA put stuff out?
No. Well, some of their last stuff, yeah. No. Hang on, when did they put their last stuff out?
I thought it was all 70s.
What was it?
I think that they had some stuff in the early 80s, but I could be wrong.
Oh, God, now you're
They
asking.
have a reunion.
Like, they're doing another album.
Why?
And they have a museum that plays ABBA songs 24 hours a day.
There are clubs in London and every other major city, to be quite honest, that plays ABBA 24/7.
In 1982.
There you go. You'd only 8. Were you going out buying albums at 8?
No, but I had older siblings who bought albums that I listened to.
Poor you.
But it's why I liked a lot of the groups from the 70s. It's why I got into Queen. And,
Yeah, I was literally just about to say that's how I got into Queen because of my brothers. So.
So, Queen, Genesis, Pink Floyd, all of that. My favorite groups because I had these older siblings who had grown up with all that and played it all the time. So,
Right, Jen.
but not ABBA. I got that on my own.
You got that on your own.
No, I didn't buy it. No, my second older sister did like ABBA, and she did have some albums. But I learnt about ABBA from that. But I actually became a fan of ABBA more or less on my own later on. So, because most of the others gave up on ABBA later, and I still like ABBA. So yes, I'm on.
See, I still like
Why are
ABBA.
we having this conversation, really?
Because Jen prefers to talk about ABBA instead of shilling herself.
Oh, am I meant to be shilling myself, Amber?
Yes.
Well, okay. Well, Amanda and I have critical bitches in what, 4 hours?
Yep.
So tomorrow.
No,
Tomorrow for me. Today for Amanda, tomorrow for me.
well,
Only just tomorrow though. We've got 6 hours, 6 minutes left of today.
And what channel is that on, and who's on it?
It's on Amanda's channel
but no,
this
I think
week,
he wants to know who's the guest, dummy.
and our guest is Godless Engineer.
No.
So
and
come
I
to
will
my
probably-
channel for
Yeah,
it.
so it's on
At
Amanda's
4
channel.
Eastern. Please.
What else am I up to? I should have a couple more videos out this week. I've had a few things in the pipeline, and given that I seem to be at home now for at least the next 4 or 5 days,
Months.
yeah, I am. Not months. There's no way I haven't got sick enough quick enough for this to be coronavirus. And you're going to tell me I've said it wrong again. I don't care.
It's Foster virus.
Foster's virus, yeah. COVID-19. 19 is it? Yeah, I don't know.
19.
Sorry?
Is it-
19, you're right.
19. Yeah.
Just take care of yourself.
Yeah. Oh look, I'm achy and I got a headache and yeah, my chest is a bit sore, but I'm not actually coughing that much, which is kind of weird. Although I did read somewhere that it takes about 4 or 5 days for the cough really to develop, so that doesn't bode well.
And not everyone gets it.
And not everyone gets the cough either. Some people just get the breathing difficulties. So, who knows?
Don't dwell. Don't think you have something. Like, just keep going about it. It'll pass.
It's not
Well,
Corona. It's not.
Well,
It's not
that-
gold.
And again, even if you've got it, you're in the age group that it's just not relevant. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, no,
It's
that's
not
not a
bad. It's
true
not bad.
statement either. There are people
Yeah.
younger who do die from it.
Yeah, I mean, the youngest in the UK, we've had one in their 40s.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I had a dear friend almost died like before the scare, a month before the scare. He had every single symptom. He was in ICU. He almost died, and right after he was released and he's in recovery, all this started happening. But he's in Jersey, and he's one of the many people that actually survived it. He's 38, 39, and he almost died. And he's not incredibly healthy, but it came out
Well,
of
again,
nowhere.
but the thing that gets me is, again, every year people die of flu. It's not like...
Right.
yeah, it's the numbers though.
Yeah, the numbers at the moment, it only looks... The numbers less than... The numbers...
Out of hand.
The numbers less than under 70 are only about 2 or 3 times flu. Over 70, there are a lot more.
Yeah, that's the real problem. But I mean, that's the main reason why you self-isolate when you get symptoms. It's not because when you're younger, the chances of it killing me are pretty low, even if it was that. The problem is me giving it to someone else.
Yeah.
Who is vulnerable. So you do the right thing, don't you?
And so you have to take into consideration. So in Italy, there's a town, Bergamo, that has a funeral every half hour, and this is a town of 120,000 people.
Yeah, they're dropping real bad over there. I think they lost 5,000-6,000 from that population. Is that right?
Yeah, it was a pretty big number.
Yeah. I remember looking at it. I was like, those are bigger numbers than 9/11. I was like, it was like 4,000 or 5,000. I was like, whoa. And at the end, it was almost like 10% of whoever got sick died.
Yeah. Right, I'm moving on.
Italy is bad.
Because this isn't really... The whole point of this stream is meant to not be about this.
Yeah.
Go on.
This is my fault. I let it carry on. Right. Amanda, shield yourself.
Blame Matthew.
Yeah, blame Mouthpick. Right. Amanda, what are you doing that's not with Jen?
I had my first TV stream this morning.
That was awesome.
Jay. Thank you.
It was
Talked about
awesome.
Buffy and Angel. So if you didn't see it,
I'd like to point out, Amanda, you talked about Buffy and Angel. I have no idea what Jay thought he was talking about.
I know a lot, but I mean, so this whole thing, like, there are a lot of people coming on my show with shows I don't know, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. But like with Buffy and Angel, I've seen both shows pretty much like once a year since they've been on. So yeah.
It was hilarious because Jay was like, "Oh, I love Buffy and Angel. I'll be able to come on and talk about that." And you just made him look like he had absolutely no idea what the show was about.
I just know
It was
way too much
hilarious.
about it. So
I
that
think
was
you.
fun.
I honestly think you would have done that to any of us. And I have. I when I first watched Buffy, I've watched the show at least. Buffy, not so much Angel, but Buffy I've watched through at least 10 times, and every time I binged watched it.
yeah.
So, because I bought all the DVDs. I didn't for Angel, so it wasn't until we had streaming that I really started rewatching it.
Yeah, I have all the seasons of Angel. I have like 3 seasons of Buffy on DVD. So,
I actually prefer Buffy to Angel. So.
and I for Angel. But anyway, so
I
that
know you
I tried that.
That's why he's not called Xander.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I could name the kid after Xander.
I really liked Evil. I liked Angelus. I liked him evil. That was awesome. But we end up calling him Angel anyway. He can't even fucking pronounce his own name. He calls it Angelus. So, whatever. I think he does it on purpose.
I was going to say, he almost certainly worked out how to pronounce it properly a long time ago and decides to take the piss.
Yeah, because that's exactly who he is. So, absolutely. But
Yeah.
I'm going to do that every week. I did a video this week.
Who's on next?
What? Next week is Vagrant Sam. We're doing BoJack Horseman.
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
Yeah. I did a video about climate change related to the COVID thing this week. It's really short. It's like 5 minutes. that's something I thought was important. Normally,
Yes.
I don't talk about my shit.
Can I also ask you a question, Amanda? How much do you actually know about Doctor Who?
I don't know shit about. I've watched like the first season.
How about when we do Doctor Who, you have both Dave and I on together?
Dave, there you go, Dave. That
Oh
could
no,
be the
I
first
said
one.
I'd come on with someone else.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm happy. I'm happy to do that with Dave because Dave knows Doctor Who probably as well as I do. So
Okay.
As I said, I can't hold a conversation, but I can join in one. If that makes sense.
You could hold a conversation.
Yeah,
and
he's
Dave
fine,
can
dude.
fill in my memory blanks about things, which would be freaking awesome because there's 50
You know,
years
it's
of Doctor Who and
sensitive to talk
remembering
the
it all
whole
is so
time
hard. Sorry?
I said, you know that you're just going to talk the whole time anyway.
Probably.
Dave's like typing every couple minutes.
It'll be your least watched episode.
I have another climate change video coming out, and then I'm on Jay's stream tonight. So I guess he's talking about. He didn't tell me today. I thought we were just doing like the tavern thing and just chatting. But then he was like, "We're talking about climate change." I'm like, "Okay." So that's tonight at 9.
And it's just you, it's not anyone else. So yeah.
We did that on purpose.
Right, he wants it to go. He wants it to go viral. So what he wants you to do is to come out and say it's a hoax.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. My next video is literally titled "Why Climate Change is Not a Hoax." So, you know,
Right,
but okay.
Peter,
Yeah.
chill yourself.
Okay. On Monday, noon U.S. Central, 6 p.m. for the people in Europe, 5 p.m. in the UK. I'm going to talk to Jesus again.
Wait there, which one? Which Jesus?
Yeah, I'm making light of this. It's actually a sad story. It's an 18-year-old boy who has been convinced, an 18-year-old black boy who has been convinced by a 59-year-old white guy that the white guy is his mother, and he is actually the wife of God, and so the boy is now Jesus. We've had him on before, Robert and I, and we're going to have him on again.
Okay.
Why are these people?
What the fuck?
Yeah, so he's a really nice guy, but and he's from South Africa, and I have no clue whether or not that's an education thing. But the boy is completely convinced now that he is Jesus. The white guy is the wife of God, and he calls him mother. And the guy lives in the house with his family. The guy doesn't have a house. The 59-year-old white guy has 1,500 court cases against him, and I've checked. That's true. Most of them restraining orders.
I'm not surprised.
Some of them from his own wife and children. So, and a children's home. I was in touch with the children's home because in the house where he lives now, there are small children as well. And I wanted to get child services involved to see if they could do something.
What country is this?
In South Africa.
South Africa.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, there are con people in the world, but this is incredible dumb fuckery.
Yes.
Yeah. And we've had the older guy on as well. I currently have him blocked on Twitter because he's spamming my account. If you go watch the video, his name is Johan.
Jesus' wife.
On the video with the boy and the video that we did with Johan, he completely spammed the comments. So I think he may have left over 50 on each video.
Wow.
And he's still commenting on those.
So he'll be there on Monday.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do on Monday. There are a few more coming up, but I haven't set any dates yet.
Fair enough. Right, Easy, do you have anything you want to shill?
Not yet. I'm struggling right now, trying to get my system back up. A couple of weeks ago, I crashed horribly trying to do an upgrade, yeah, things have just been really slow. Instead of keeping my stuff up to date, as far as my website and all, I had to invest into a whole new system, which is still incomplete because of this virus thing, and there's no mail, and I can't get my RAM, so I'm in slow-mo, but I hope I can post something by next week or the first week of April. That's what I'm trying to set a little short-term goal so I can put a little video out of something.
Excellent.
Yes.
Right.
Dave, I forgot something.
Go on.
About chilling myself.
You've got a shelf?
How did you start the stream?
How did I start the stream?
Yeah.
I didn't use that. I haven't quite got I'm not happy with my transitions. I keep cocking them up, mostly because of the audio. I need to work out how to get the audio to work so I don't end up muting myself. I see lots of people muting themselves all over the place.
Now everyone has a good reason for Dave to make a third stream. Because everyone now wants to know how it should have started.
Yes.
So I was actually chilling you, Dave.
Thank you. You're very kind.
People need to go bug you and third stream and start it correctly.
They do.
Yeah.
I need to kick OBS. Right. Thank you all for coming, and thank you for everyone we've annoyed. I hope we have distracted you for an hour.
Thanks for having us.
I will see you all soon.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.